So you're going to need a couple of props for this. You will need some actual toe spacers. These can be bought from any drugstore, probably for $1 or $2. Feel free to grab some paper towel and I'll show you how to make toe spacers using paper towel. And you'll simply be folding them several times. Depending on the size of your toes, you'll know what size is right for you. And the idea is you're going to weave them through the toes like this. The reason that we're doing this is because not only are we going to learn to mobilize the feet, you've been doing that already, but now we want to mobilize them in another way. We want to separate them. Like our hands, we've got a lot of dexterity because we're able to open and close the hands quite well. Not so much with the feet. So to start, before we do the toe spacers, we're actually going to get in there with our hands. Let me show you. So grab yourself a towel and some oil or lotion. I like coconut oil because it's solid at room temperature and it's not too messy. You just need a tiny bit on the tip of the finger. Pop your foot onto the towel so you don't make a mess. And start to rub the oil into the toes. Not the rest of the foot, it's really just the toes that we're working on here. Right down into the webs of the toes. You're also going to work it right into the webs of the fingers because you're going to be sliding your hands through the toes just like that. So you want them to slide easily. Start out with the big toe and your index finger, just sliding it right down into the base. Then the next toe. Get comfortable with that and carry on. Now, if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, depending on how long you've been in shoes and how well you've treated your feet or haven't, this is going to be challenging. You'll know how far you can take it. In my case, I can go through all toes. Don't force it. You're eventually going to stabilize with the left hand and do circles with the right once those fingers are all the way through the toes. Grab right down onto the little knuckles at the base of the toes. Small circles. Now I'm going a little more aggressively than you may need to because I've been doing this for a long time. So my feet won't complain the next day. So please go easy. This is the other way you can do it. Slide them right through. This may be easier for some of you to manage. This actually feels pretty good. I know there's a lot of acupuncture points in this area. So that's the other way to do it, just separating them, grabbing a hold right down to the knuckles and little circles. After a while, the two hands can almost move in slightly separate directions. Finish off just wiping the feet down. Then towel off the excess oil before doing the other foot. Now this foot I have a bunion, so the big toe is a little more bendy. So I will show you how to work at your feet if you do have any structural problems like I do. Again, get the oil right down into the toe webs. So on the bunion toe, you're just going to grab a hold of it individually. Now I'm going quite aggressively. I don't recommend starting like that. As I said, I've been doing this a long time, years I've been working on my feet. Some of you may only be able to manage 2 toes to do the exercise. That's fine. Or 3. Don't push past the pain point. If this is excruciating, you shouldn't be doing it. You'll stop just with the foot mobilization exercise. So that's a lot easier, I find. And again, just mobilizing the toes, circular patterns. I like to do 20 or 30 in a row of those. Good firm hold in the midfoot. So grab your toe spacers, slot them in between the toes. And just push them down a little further into the web. with your index fingers. And if you're using paper towel, weave it through the toes. And if you need to double it up to spread them out a little bit more, just double up at the ends as I've done here, or make the paper towel a little thicker. Same on the left side. And eventually you'll have it nicely in place. I like to push it to the middle so they're nicely spaced out. And then spend 5 or 10 minutes walking around the house like this.